Now I'd like to introduce Mike Doherty, Assemblyman, 23rd District.
Hey, good afternoon. It's great to be here. See all these hardy Americans out here trying to take back their country from these crooked politicians that are trying to take your last dollar. You know, before I got into politics, I did a great thing. I served in the United States Army for 8 years. And you know, folks, one thing they constantly beat in our head in the United States Army that they don't seem to know here down in Trenton or down in Washington, D.C., is that the United States has a Constitution. And the Constitution limits what government can and cannot do. But unfortunately, here in Trenton and down in D.C., they don't care what the Constitution says. And that's particularly true when it comes to indebting us with billions and trillions of dollars of new debt. It is really amazing what goes on down here. Since I've been down here for 8 years, there's been 102 taxes that we've seen come across our desk. Now, I want to tell you, I voted no each and every time. Because the solution to our problems is to cut spending, not look for new ways to take your money. Now, I gotta tell you, the most ridiculous tax I've seen in my time down here has to do with, we've seen real estate transfer tax, income tax. You go to the doctor, they want to tax you. But the worst I ever saw, they said, hey, we do collect the sales tax when you buy a car. You have to pay the sales tax. But you know what? We're not taxing the 4 tires. So let's have a tax on the 4 tires. And you know what somebody said? Somebody said before we voted on it, hey, you know what? There's a spare tire in the trunk. Let's tax all 5 tires. This is the mentality down here, folks. And when it comes to borrowing money, they just can't stop saying no. I want to tell you a very brief story. I sit on the Appropriations Committee, and you may remember, we collect the gas tax to maintain our roads. And there's a thing called the Transportation Trust Fund. The gas tax comes in, it maintains the roads, that's the money. But some politicians down here said, hey, you know what? We can borrow a bunch of money, we'll pay it back with the gas tax, and we'll stay ahead of it. But we got behind the 8 ball where all the money coming in was just paying back the debt for the Transportation Trust Fund. I sit on the Appropriations Committee. We had the bill to authorize Governor Corzine to go over to Wall Street and borrow billions more to keep it going because they had already fleeced all the money and sent it elsewhere. And I asked a very simple question to the gentleman from the Department of Transportation, a very simple question. I said, sir, we're going to be voting on this today. How much money are we authorizing you to borrow? And you know what the answer was? I don't know. I said, excuse me, we're supposed to be authorizing the governor to go over to Wall Street and borrow billions of dollars, and we don't know how much you're going to borrow? And you know what? The answer was no. Now, we read in the paper that it was $6.5 billion, but by the time they got done with their friends on Wall Street, it was over $8 billion that they had borrowed. Did we follow the Constitution? Did we have any idea how much money was being borrowed when it got voted out of this House and sent over to the governor? Absolutely not. This is why New Jersey is a fiscal train wreck. It's why we're ranked 50th in the country as the worst place to do business. If you want to start a business, people are not coming to New Jersey. So, folks, I want to let you know there are some members of the legislature that are disgusted what's going on here in Trenton, are disgusted with what's going on down in Washington, D.C., and I want to applaud you folks for coming on out. Now, many years ago, Ronald Reagan said something. He said, a recession occurs when your neighbor loses his job. And they call it a depression when you lose your job. But you know what recovery is, folks? Recovery in New Jersey is when John Corzine loses his job in November.
Thank you, Mike.